Today, I'm interviewing myself to answer the same questions that I ask so many artists. And I'm going to start with, what art means to me. And art to me is expression. It is absolutely a language, the language of my soul, the language of my heart, the language of my thoughts. And it is a dynamic dialogue because I feel that the first part is when I kind of like translate those thoughts and feelings into a design, wherever it is. I work on pencil, oil, mixed media, illustrations, product design, so whatever photography. So wherever it is, I love the fact that I'm creating a language that sometimes I just have to look within and search for symbols and ways to find something that represents that I'm feeling. But then the dialogue continues because I create something, and then hopefully there is a language between the viewer and the piece of art. And so I feel that art is expression. Art creates it creates emotions. It creates an experience. So for me, I love to create art. I love to be busy with my hands, and again, for me, it really serves as a way of meditation therapy, if you will. It is a way to process feelings, moments, different stages in life. But also, I love experiencing art. So for me, number one hobby is going to exhibits, museums, public art, concerts, and just experiencing art and understanding that I'm always constantly on a dialogue with the piece of art, and hopefully receiving also those messages that the artist wanted to probably express when they were creating a piece of art, because that's my intention when I create something. So if you see a lot of my designs, whether it is in programs, in packaging, in illustrations, now I'm creating a children's book, and everything has a lot of symbolism. So yeah, that's art for me. So my creative day starts in different ways. I have to say that I'm always observing and recording information, whether it is through photography, through books that I read, or obviously online, things that I feel are interesting, catch my attention. I love to observe nature in the macro details. And also, I love to get inspired by art and art history. I love to visit exhibits, museums. I love to read about artists. And so I think that I create all this information that allows me to sit down and use it in different opportunities for different designs, especially because I like to work on many different things at the same time. So I'm working on maybe creating a program for the nonprofit that I run, or maybe I have to design a packaging for one of the programs. And everything that I do, I try to have symbolism, and everything means something. So maybe it's a piece of art that I'm working on, and I need to, work it to develop something on the area of the skill or the technique. But usually the conception of the idea starts with a lot of information before, and it starts building. I one thing is I have my playful days. I have my days where I begin to feel like, well, what if I mix this? What if I do something different? I like to think outside the box, but I start my creative day by having a lot of resources and information around me, looking in my phone, seeing pictures that I have taken, videos, things that have impacted um, for a minute, something that I feel like, wow, this is awesome. It can be a texture, it can be something in nature. I get inspired for so many things around me. I love to look around. I love to observe, and I love to listen and just reflect on what's what day brings. The part of the creative process that I enjoy the most is when I begin with an idea and I start when I begin with an idea and I start gathering all the information and and the elements that will help me to design what that piece is going to look like. So that I love. I love that process of research, gathering, looking around, and looking within and seeing what I'm trying to express. I think it was very helpful. I took 5 years of classical art, and we had a lot of questions that we needed to complete in order to start a piece of art. And it was part of trying to understand what was the message? What is it that I want to say with this piece? And how is this line going to represent that? And how is this color going to represent that? And seeing it with the masters in art and learning to understand how they represented feelings and emotions and got the message through those ways. So I am passionate about art history. So again, I gather all this information and I am like, it's like a gallery with many ideas. My sketchbooks normally are packed with images and words and techniques and possibilities of what if this, what if I do this, and then a lot of sketches, a lot of trying and see. There are many artists that I absolutely love their pieces, their style, and they belong to different movements in art. So I have to say that I love Degas. It's one of those artists that I love the technique and I love how he represented the dancers. And I love the combination of the palette. I love Sargent. It is an artist that had a lot of emotion in his brush stroke. And I admire how he was not quick to create the pieces, but quick to put the brush stroke once he was sure about what to do. Something that I'm trying to learn. But there are so many. I love Mugero because when I see his pieces, it is a magical illusion, but it's so realistic and so perfect in all the dimensions and the light and the realism is just something that I am in love with. But I have to say that we can be here sitting for hours because I can name uh, 4 or 5 artists in different parts of our history that I absolutely love. And